Good morning friends, welcome to PSIR Analytica week number 7. I am Nikhil Gowda, the Political Science and International Relations faculty at InsightsIAS. So today, this week, the portions of the syllabus what we are completing is Political Science Paper 2 Part A. In that, the Globalization chapter, then the Theories of International Relations. These are the main chapters what we are covering as part of your syllabus this week. So let us look into today's question. Today's question basically was question on globalization. The question they are asking, globalization and its impact on developing societies, they are asking you to analyze. So how to approach this particular question? You keep your answer as simple as possible. First, try to give an introduction about what is globalization. Then try to divide your answer into bringing arguments which says that what are the negative impact of globalization on developing societies, then the positive impact of globalization on developing societies. Then you can summarize your answer based on your opinion. So now let us look into what we can start with. So one, I would start with by introducing introduction of globalization by saying that according to Kenichi Hoame, globalization refers to free movement of people, capital, ideas, transcending national boundaries. And then you can argue that since the end of Cold War, we are witnessing the rise of globalization led by the neoliberal ideology. Then you can say that there has been a debate within the international scholars that is globalization beneficial for developing societies or not developing. So under the first heading or argument, you can say that scholars such as Immanuel Wallerstein, and you have A.G. Frank, the Marxist perspective. One is given the systems approach, world systems theory. Then the other is given dependency theory. They argue that globalization has helped the multinational companies from the developed world to continued exploitation of the resources of developing societies. In a way, they argue that globalization has enabled the neo-imperialism or neo-colonialism in that regard. So you can bring the argument here that the core countries have benefited, the periphery countries are not part of the global capital transactions. Then you can bring the argument of Smith, who says that today we can see many children in Asia and Africa, they are living with lifestyle diseases, on account of or due to McDonaldization. This is the argument of Smith. You can bring in your answer. Then you can also bring in the argument of Okogbule. I don't know how to spell his name exactly. In this argument says that globalization has led to weakening of state sovereignty in developing societies, where you can also write multinational companies have become more strong with respect to influencing the economic policies of developing societies. Example you can give Walmart. The annual turnover of Walmart is more than the GDP of 20 African countries. put together in that regard. Then you can also say that the 2008 financial crisis, which happened in United States of America, had multiple impact on developing societies with respect to economic slowdown, job loss, etc. But then you can say, but however, on the other side of the spectrum, we have Jagadish Bhagawati, who in his book In Defense of Globalization, try to counter argue or nullify the arguments of anti-globalists in that regard. So he says that one, according to World Economic Outlook, the economic growth in developing societies, especially after globalization, has increased from 19% to 29%. Second one, poverty reduction has happened due to the capital inflow or to the investment inflow in that regard. For example, it takes the example of India, where we have able to reduce our poverty from 50% to 21% in that regard. And not only with respect to economic or capital inflow, there is also inflow of modern values. Modern values in that regard, such as you can say globalization has enabled into the inflow of modern ideas such as equality, liberty, which has enabled to bring a change in social transformation. So you can give the example of Me Too movement, which has given to the voice for the women in developing societies at large, and it has also provided better employment opportunities and enabled the migration of the skilled workers in developing societies to the developed world. However, then you can bring in conclusion, as Amartya Sen says, globalization has both positive as well as negative impact, and it is not uniform throughout all societies. Certain developing countries have benefited, certain developing countries have faced the negative impact of globalization. So it is necessary that we need to have globalization with the human face for the prosperity of developing societies. So friends, this is how you can articulate your answer or analyze this particular question. Don't unnecessarily worry about missing out any scholar. It's not important for you to write all these scholars. It is more important to bring those arguments in that regard. So always make sure that your answer is different. Don't try to always follow one set of common notes. You read one set of common notes to enhance or build content, but you can replace the examples and bring new dimensions into it in that regard to enable you to get more marks in the exam. So with this, we have come to an end to the discussion of today's question. I'll meet you again tomorrow with a new question. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.